Welcome to the sphere naming exercise. Here's an example of one of mine, my first talent, which is intellection. And you can see the I need and I like description. And when I first did this exercise, I looked at that and I kind of started naming the sphere really quickly. And my initial reaction was it's a library. And then I changed it to classroom. And then I changed it to whiteboard. And then I changed it to blackboard. And none of those felt completely right. I didn't really resonate with them fully. So then I changed the approach and I kind of looked at the I need and I like descriptions and I just started listing past examples of when I saw intellection strongly in place. And my immediate memory brought me to the talent matrix. Then I came up with this idea of a flow loop and framed out how you get into flow, and you get into flow in 4 phases, and here they are at a high level. And then here's the more technical description of how you get into flow, both flow and bad flow. Then I started thinking about deliberate practice, and I actually did a research project on this. Basically what I was trying to do was create a snowball effect by using the technique of deliberate practice as well as your talents while in a state of flow, and see if putting those 3 together created a snowball effect. And creating a protocol like this one started giving me an idea of protocols, creating 3-step protocols with a situation specific if-then statement that kind of describes when the protocol is called for, and then a metaphorical statement at the end to wrap up the protocol via analogy. So I created the Kaizen protocol, and this is one of many protocols that I've created. So all of this brought me to creating a user's manual for entering that state of flow, so a peak performance user manual. So now that I had all of these examples in mind, I started again thinking about what do these examples have in common, and basically it's this idea of building conceptual prototypes piece by piece. I try something, if it worked, great. If it didn't work, I try something else. And that the talent matrix, the flow mind map came from the book Designing Your Life. The protocol, I played around with 2 steps, with 5 steps. I landed on 3 steps. I've created conceptual ideas like flow activators. When I thought about the original names I'd given the spheres, it now started to become a little clearer to me what this sphere is and why those ones I'd initially named weren't exactly it. The name of this sphere is study. Now, this isn't literally my study, but it's a conceptual depiction of a study and I would love to have this study. And you can see the books are there. That came from library. Solitude, an opportunity to concentrate. I would replace one of those paintings with a whiteboard so I can kind of think out loud. You'll notice there are chairs, so this isn't always solitary work. Sometimes I have guests enter, thinking partners, and we come up with ideas on the whiteboard. So a study kind of is a rich environment for me to get into the state of flow. And once you can identify those objects that put you in the state of flow, a large pad of quad paper, a nice pen, a journal, then those flow activators can start giving you a better sense of what are the critical variables that are at play when you're in a state of flow in your sphere. So what I first thought was a very quick exercise to name these spheres actually takes a little bit of reflection and concentration for you to really assemble the right name for all the elements of this talent that put you into flow. If you can think of the sphere, even if you're not completely in the sphere, even if all the conditions aren't conducive, at least the sphere will remind you of 1 or 2 of those objects that put you in the state of flow, like a whiteboard, for example. I don't have to be in my study to get into flow writing on a whiteboard. So as you go through each exercise for your 5 talents, try to give it this level of reflection. Think about past examples. You'll start to see the underlying themes behind the examples, and then hopefully the name of the sphere will just emerge. Thank you.